Welcome, everybody, to the sketchbook saga where I try to teach myself to draw. And today we are back to using the 30-minute Drawing for Beginners book. This book's by Jordan DeWilde, and the exercises you're going to see today are exercises 2 and exercise 3 in the book. Now, exercise 2 is the one you're going to be seeing on the screen now, and it's the first one we're covering. It was the contour line of a shoe. So it builds on the previous exercise where I contoured my hand, and it turns kind of the attention out to the world around you with the goal of seeing like an artist. So the contour line of my hand, I traced my hand and then filled in detail. In the contour line of a shoe, of course, I have to create that exterior line. I have to create the contour from my brain. I can't go and trace that shoe, especially because if I were to do so, right, you would only have a profile, or you would only have, kind of the shape of the sole instead of looking at it from the side or from the top like you would inevitably typically do. Now, I will admit here, I wasn't particularly excited about drawing a shoe. It's just not something I really pictured myself doing. It's not something I wanted to do. But I wanted to follow this exercise as closely as possible. So I was like, how can I make this exercise exciting to me? And the way I did that was I decided to draw my son's shoe. Now, my son is about 5 years old, so he's got the fake laces and the Velcro strap. But being able to connect with my son in that manner as I was doing the drawing really kept me engaged. Throughout this entire drawing, I actually ended up finding that I enjoyed myself. I found that the shoe really took a lot better shape than I expected. And at the very end of it, I think I was even left just pleased, but not really understanding if I liked it better before I added the pen lining. So I feel like the pen lining in some way obscured the detail about the other things. Now, during the drawing itself, I felt pretty stiff and pretty rigid, though. I think I should have moved or adjusted the paper more. I'm thinking about camera angles a lot, and so I didn't shift that around much. I kind of felt stiffness. I also really had issues with the detail on the inside of the shoe and the texture, because even though I feel like I did a pretty good job of getting proportion into the shoe overall, I really missed the bar on that brand logo and kind of the lacing there. Those were areas I really struggled, and I was erasing a bunch to kind of get it going. One of the tactics I did use to ensure that I was kind of keeping on track, though, is I did time myself. My goal was 15 minutes. I ended up at 18 minutes on this particular exercise, but I held it even tighter on the next one, which is the chair. So moving on to the chair, the chair drawing was done from a picture only, and this was a negative space exercise where you were supposed to be doing a contour line of the chair, but you were supposed to start with the negative spaces. It talks about how guidelines and boundaries or reference lines are going to help keep your drawing symmetrical and in proportion, so it really tells you to use those guidelines here. It says, don't make them perfect, don't make them heavy, and so I tried to do that. It then says to start with the negative spaces, so the spaces the item isn't actually there, but that are contained. You're going to see this in my plant drawing as well, but this one's really the exercise that you're supposed to do with it is some form of chair. So I found this more difficult than I thought I would. I think there's a trick to kind of teaching your brain to focus on negative space. It helped sketch it out initially, but I really lost some of the form due to the lack of attention and detail I made to the central cross posts, because in the drawing that I did, the central cross posts of the chair, they connect a lot different than they do in reality. And that's something I kind of struggled with there. It turned out okay. I inked it. We got it done in 10 minutes. And so for 10 minutes, for me, somebody who kind of obsesses over that kind of thing, I feel like it went really well. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you have enjoyed this. And as always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching.